Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alejandra Sofia and today is December 10th. I'm tuning into the week ahead astrologically from today until Sunday, December 16th, 2018. We are inside of the first quarter moon. We had a new moon last Thursday in Sagittarius, and so we're inside of this first quarter Sagittarius new moon cycle. And the first quarter moon from moon phase 1 until the half moon waxing in moon phase 8 is it's a building phase, and so we're working towards embodying something. And so from this, the key energy of embodying what the seeds you planted or something that's opening up for you that began on this new moon cycle on Thursday is going to be coming into embodiment through the Sagittarius sun and the moon in Pisces on Sunday. So Sunday is moon phase 8, the half moon waxing. So we're really, given that the Pisces is, we have some key planets in the sign of Pisces right now, and that's Chiron and Neptune. Those are the two planets that have been there for a long period of time, Neptune being the longest. So we're inside of an evolutionary process with Neptune and Pisces of really opening up emotionally and spiritually to the deep interconnectivity to all that is. Neptune is about your spirituality. You really opening up your heart and your emotions, and with Chiron there these last couple of years, and it's going to be leaving next year in 2019, fully leaving the sign of Pisces and super activating through the sign of Aries. So we're in the last months with Chiron just going direct yesterday. Chiron just went direct. And so that's a real deep time of finishing up some really essential healing that we need through our own lunar selves. And so Pisces rules the child, through that little person inside of you that's always going to be there. And but being with yourself, this inner child, the little you, in new ways that are healing to you and allowing you to arrive to your wholeness. And with being that we have Saturn in Capricorn right now, it is about integration as well. So this moon is really potent for healing. That we're this first quarter moon through the Sagittarius new moon that's powerfully conjunct the it's in a long conjunction to Jupiter and Sag. So it's really about with the Sagittarian, strong Sagittarian energy. Remember, Jupiter rules Sag. Neptune also rules Sagittarius, and so the primary energies, if you listen to my Sagittarius new moon attunement, is our Jupiter and Neptune. So it is about a spiritual opening that is allowing you to receive a healing to your little self, and these places that you've been holding drama and holding an old story that is very true and very real. But it's really time to, with all these Sagittarian energies, it's really time to shift. It's time to shift. It's time to wrap it up. We've got Saturn in Capricorn, we've got Pluto in Capricorn. It's time to wrap it up if you want to create a new story, and if you want to really be about changing your life for the better, so that you can have a better experience. And consequently, you are going to have an influence upon the planet because you are part of the collective. Your personal story is part of the collective. And so you're healing a deep thread. There's an opportunity to continue to heal a deep thread of your story and thread into a new story, a healing story, an empowering story. And I see Jupiter in with the strong Sagittarian energies that we have right now. It's about you opening up it's about opening up to the adventure of life, and to uplift yourself, to bring levity into gravity. And so being a seeker of daily inspiration, that's an empowering way to open up your channels at this time with really sourcing in with yourself and getting that you are the source of your inspiration, and how to bring inspiration into your life. What are the things that excite you? What are the things that uplift you? So it's a really powerful teaching time of this, because we have Jupiter in Sagittarius and Saturn in Capricorn, of really gaining ground with wisdom. And I say gaining ground because it's about landing wisdom. It's about rising to wisdom. It's the wisdom that is innate. It is universe given. You are born into the wisdom that lives in your cells, lives in our DNA. So, and it's definitely a we situation. I'm going through it as well, and churning and burning and releasing and letting go and orienting myself towards a uplifting mindset, and rewiring my brain and rewiring my pathways. And so that is what Mercury is doing right now. So one of the key aspects to this week is Mercury finishing up its retrograde path in Scorpio, and it's going to move on into the sun, back into Sagittarius, where it went retrograde in November, on November 15th. It went retrograde at 14 degrees Sagittarius, and so it's still on its retrograde path. And on Wednesday the 12th, it's going to return to Sagittarius at about 3:43 p.m. Pacific time. And so in today and tomorrow, Mercury is traveling through the galactic degrees of Scorpio and meeting Uranus in a quincunx. It's a challenging aspect that's geared towards creating new pathways. The quincunx, the evolutionary opportunity with the quincunx, is opening up new pathways. So there's a way in which these first 2 days of the week it's still being inside of yourself, inside of some major healing ground. And because it's Mercury, it's able to, and Mercury does rule the synapses, the journey of one synapse to another, and creating these links inside of your brain that is from healing an old story and really linking up and rewiring to a new story. So, finding and accessing and connecting in with words. Mercury rules words, with a mantra, with using words as an empowerment tool to really empowering the life you were born to live. And you were born to live sourcing from a deep well of inspiration, and where you're inbreathing spirit, and spirit is you, and you need to wrap up this old story of where you got hurt, or where you've been believing you can't do it, or just that part of you that keeps rerouting to defaulting to the old routes. And so it's about rerouting right now, and that's what it very much just like with all the Sagittarius energies, it's about uplifting yourself and really choosing to reroute yourself. So I give Sagittarius a sign of, one of the signs that is connected to the reality of neuroplasticity, that we have a brain that can change. It's a plastic. We've got plasticity where we can change, and it just takes one moment. So it's about choice. And so with this, it is definitely about choice. And so with Mercury quincunxing Uranus tomorrow, that's the key aspect for this week. Finalizing it's the third quincunx it's done with Uranus. So these last few weeks have been about getting out of some dark places inside of yourself and really opening up. It's also about the ways in which you've been holding yourself invisible, and through this invisibility holding that self-negation. So it's about releasing a negative story and engaging a new story, rewiring to a new story. Rewiring to a new story, an empowering story, a transformative story, a storyline that allows you to be in a more conscious narrative with yourself, right? Because there's Uranus, which is a higher octave of Mercury, so it is about connecting in with a with a visionary, having a visionary vantage point of who you are in your life that's allowing you to work on your personal story in a new way and use these visionary tools and empowerment tools to keep increasing your levity and your light. And it's absolutely not about avoidance. It's about really turning these key places around in yourself. So that's the key energy for this week, in terms of the beginning of this week. And then as we move on, Pat, when Mercury moves into the sign of Sag, there's this, it's really moving towards now. It's moving now towards Jupiter. It's going to be making an exact conjunction with Jupiter again next week, but it's from this evolution. It's from this renewal that's emerging right now. So there very much is this feeling of renewal and new inspiration that's coming in. So really following through on some ideas. If you're working something really important things that you're working out right now, and it's with Mercury still in Scorpio, it's not quite time to move. But when Mercury emerges into the sign of Sagittarius, it's time to move. It's time to go. It's time to make those connections. So really use this time to kind of hermit up a little bit these first couple of days of the week emotionally, and then it's going to be time to come out. Like your spirit's opening up and ready to move in some new directions. And so that's what the rest of the week is about. That's the key, one of the key energies there is as you're landing something new in your life. And so with this half moon waning week that we're in, really landing inside of, I think even having an understanding of your life, understanding of your story that's helpful to you, that's helping you make new bridges into the new story that you are creating for yourself. And so I do feel this, because we've got the North Node in Cancer and we've got Chiron in a trine to the North Node, and the moon comes into, by the end of the week, the moon in Pisces is going to be making a conjunction to Chiron and aspecting that North Node. That's where I feel that this like new level of understanding that's going to help you, some kind of understanding that's going to help you sit inside of yourself more deeply. And all the different ways that healing has an effect on your life and what that means to you. And so it could also be and very much connected, because Pisces rules the child, it also rules the family, because the child can't be without a family. We cannot be here without our mom and dad. So and it's also about the deeper waves of, because Pisces is the ocean. It's the ocean of oneness, and it's the ocean of allness. So something in this healing that allows you to release yourself from suffering any more than you need to be, and realize that, though yes, the world, because Pisces so deeply feels the suffering that's happening on the world on every level, feels the suffering that's happening on the world. And so the key thing for Pisces is, and what Saturn and Capricorn is doing right now, is really helping you kind of have a better container with yourself, so that you can really give yourself the replenishment. Like, it doesn't help to keep bleeding and bleeding and bleeding the world's pain. It doesn't help to keep, it's time to help yourself and really see that you get to have a full life, you get to be happy. And how do you want to participate? How can you participate in a way that's helpful and to you, compassionate to you, and as well as compassionate to the world? How can you stop bleeding all over, emotionally all over the planet, when, there's already a lot of real pain, and what opportunity do you have in the freedom of your use of freedom to shift your life that's going to bring you a lot more personally, a lot more energy and new viewpoints that allow you to give to yourself and give yourself the deep permission that you need, that it's okay to be happy, and while other people are suffering. And how can your happiness be a contribution? What are the things that you can do to continue to uplift the planet? So this is about this quarter moon, this first quarter, and of this Sagittarius new moon is about how can you uplift yourself and give yourself the permission that it's okay to be happy, and there's a way it's okay to be happy. And while other people are suffering, and what can you do to contribute? Because Jupiter in Sagittarius absolutely wants to contribute. What can you do to create? Can you create an event? And that reminds me that I've created an event for December 22nd, 2018 on Facebook, and where it's a solstice event, an online solstice event. I'm going to be talking about the full moon on December 22nd, in the full moon in Cancer, as well as a very crucial and most, I say, and I believe this is the defining aspect to this new year that we're moving into, of Saturn and Pluto coming into a conjunction. And they begin their conjunction on December 22nd in a couple of weeks. So, and that all the donations, it's a donation-based event. It's 2 hours online. It'll be on Zoom, and all donations are going to Paradise, California. So if you'd like more information on that, you can let me know. And so that's an example. That's an example of something that came through for me personally, literally on Thursday. I figured it out. Something came through, and I was really inspired. And that's the kind of contribution of creating something, of a way to share using your gifts and talents, and however you want to do it, however it's coming through you to contribute. But that's the essential thing, that it's with all these Sagittarian energies, it's time to open up. It's time to open up to the global village. This whole year is going to be about opening up to the global village. And the fact that we're getting this Jupiter in Sag conjunct new moon in Sag, the last moon of the year of 2018, it's really opening up. Like it's a moon that's really it's like revving up the engines for 2019. These spirit engines, revving up these creative engines, these revving up the vibration of the planet. So there's a real opportunity to choose positively in ways that are deeply healing to that inner well inside of you. And Pisces being the well of muse, and listening to your muses, and listening to the spirit guidance of the inspiration that comes in, the ideas, and really, connecting, like listening to those ideas and the excitement levels that uplift you, and feel that part of you that wants to do it. And you have, with Saturn in Capricorn right now, it's a time of just like, okay, if you don't know how to do it, learn how to do it. So even though you've never done it before, because that's the nature of the quincunx, you've likely have never done it before. That's the nature of Sagittarius when you're moving out into a new direction and you don't have the skills yet, you don't know, but you have the inspiration. And to keep at it, just keeps, we've got Saturn in Capricorn right now that's just got this, like, just stay steady, keep doing it one day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time, one frustration at a time. If you come up against that frustration, take a breath, whatever you got to do, relax, go on a walk, go do something, and then just keep pushing. And whatever emotions do come up as you're transforming, and this is what I want to end with, it is scary to change. It is. That part of us that's never experienced these when you're going into the unknown. And Sag really wants to take us into these new territories we've never been in, new scenes we've never been in, new creative ventures we've never experienced. So it's this land of inexperience, and it can be scary. And so you're learning how to really, it's a time of really an inner development of emotional maturity. It's just this emotional maturity, and having more mastery over your more consciousness, more mastery over your emotional state. So also learning how to shift, especially when you see yourself going down a really deep, dark, negative hole. And it's like, there's enough information now and understanding and support where you can pull yourself out of that hole and take yourself down a new direction. So that's another defining moment of this week. And that's just another way of saying what I feel this week is about. So, so thank you for watching. Please, if you're interested in my online event, let me know. And I enjoy this and yet another magical, fabulous week on planet Earth, being you.